Hi, I'm Salam, and what's your name?
Hi, my name is John.
John. John, how old are you?
I'm 23.
23, okay. What brings you here, John?
Uh, I was quite reluctant to speak to a therapist, but it was a recommendation from one of my best friends. He recommended that I come and speak to a therapist. So here I am.
Why do you think he recommended that?
Because he could tell that I've had a shift in moods. So he definitely knew that this wasn't how I usually am. And I do agree that sometimes it's very hard to cover how you really feel in public all the time, and it's exhausting. So I think because being my best friend, he caught on to it. So that's why he recommended that this would be really helpful. So here I am.
Okay. Seems like you do have a good friend that you could trust, who could like point out whatever is happening with you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's been a good support system as of recent. So.
Okay. Okay. Before we go more in depth with this, I do need to clarify some like confidentiality stuff.
Sure.
One is being when you, so it's like you have thought of suicide, you have a plan and all that stuff. You have attend, then we have to. That is one of the ways that we could break confidentiality. And then there are like court orders. If you're planning to harm yourself or others, and any vulnerable adults or vulnerable child is involved, it's like neglect or abuse, that's when we have to report. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, so you said that you weren't feeling yourself, you weren't feeling great, so your friend suggested for you to come here.
That's correct.
Okay,
Yes.
can you say a little bit more about the symptoms or the things that you're feeling?
Right. So I usually, especially not in the company of others, when I'm isolated by myself, that's when I usually feel really sad. Only because sad of attachment, because I moved away from my family a long time ago, and because of the distance, it's very hard to find a replacement for that or something that sort of mimics that. So it was a lot to do with attachment and coming to a different culture. It was hard to find people like my parents, and living with them for close to about 20 years and finally parting ways, like it does have a toll, I believe. Which is why like I do have like I really feel sad when I am not in the company of people sometimes, and especially when I see my friends hanging out with their family, it sort of hits me in a weird way. So
I'm sorry, that's not a great feeling.
yeah, it's not.
So you said you moved. Where did you move from?
So I moved from Sweden.
Sweden, okay.
Yes.
And when did you move?
I actually moved 3 years ago.
3 years ago, okay. And you came here by yourself?
Yes, I came here by myself. I came here for higher education. I thought it was best. It was a good place to be at, but it also meant, leaving all the people, your family, and like your friends that you've fostered over the years, growing up as well. So it's an entirely different landscape, and I don't think I fit in well.
Say more about that.
Because I would say that I do not fit in well because I'm so used to the customs and the culture back home, the way people did things, and for me to change even my ways of thinking to the people in the US, it is hard. And I think if I were to change the way I think about things, that would not be me. So I want to maintain who I am, and I think it's really hard in this culture for me, which is why I think I have certain mood swings.
Mm. You said who I am. Can you just explain a little bit of who you are in your eyes?
Right. So in my eyes, I don't see myself as individualistic. I see myself as more of a collectivist, where I am my best self when I'm in a group of people or in a family setting. But for me to be on my own, I think that's a little scary. And having this individualistic mindset about pursuing, while I understand its benefits, I miss the family, the collectivistic part of who I am.
It sounds like, just I'm gonna say it and then you could clarify with me if what I'm saying is accurate. It sounds like you do miss your family, being around them, and I know you pointed out saying it's like you are more of a collectivist and rather do things with other people instead of just being by yourself.
Correct.
And coming to the US is a trigger to the feeling that you're feeling more of a hopelessness and being alone and being sad about being alone. And is this sometimes really started since you came here?
Yes, I believe, that is a correct assessment, and I believe once I came over here, I had more alone time than I had back at home in Sweden, because I always hung out with friends, family, we always did things together. But over here, even my close friends, we end up doing things on our own, and I just found out that I have more me time, which I'm not complaining about, but I believe too much alone time could cause these mood swings.
Yeah, and I'm sorry if I'm asking too much questions, but these are things that I have to get before to do your diagnostic assessment. Where do you live right now?
So I live in Minneapolis.
Okay.
That's close to work. So
is it a dorm room? Is it an apartment?
No, it's actually, I'm living with two of my friends in an apartment.
Okay.
So I'm not, I have a room by myself, but I'm lucky to be in a company with my friends. And this was just currently, I moved with my friends just 2 months ago.
Okay, and do you like being around your friends as your roommates?
Yes.
Okay.
They've been incredibly helpful in keeping my spirits high. I think the past 2 months, they've been, my relationship with them have been more reflective of my relationships back home, because we would do things together, hang out together. So I actually appreciate hanging around with most of my roommates.
Yeah. What would you say some of your area of strength and an area of growth?
So my area of strength is that I hang around well with my friends, and I have that need for socializing with people, and I think I would say that's like one of my strengths, and like also one of my needs as well. And for me to grow, I think where I can grow, especially dealing with being alone and having too much time for myself. I've been told by my best friend if I could be involved in other things, just to reduce the time that I spend alone by myself. And even if I have, that would probably be to recharge from all these social encounters.
Yeah. Do you feel like being with others creates an anxiety, or like I know you said you feel depressed and all that stuff, and because you're not with your family and all that stuff, but does it create an anxiety where you don't want to be with them, or?
Yes and no. Yes, it sometimes creates anxiety depending on the group of people I'm with, because a certain level of comfort comes with whatever group I am in. And I do get anxiety only because, I try to make these groups like my groups back home,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I am aware that there are these two groups think differently, so that's hard to do, and accepting that can be a little hard.
Okay.
So, and that's where I get anxiety and also I would say depression, because I can't control it, but I have to accept it, but it's a sad fact for me to accept.
Yeah, it seems like you're going through a lot at the same time, to change the environment from there and trying to have friends here, and then also trying to adjust with the environment here, but then it's like you have the thought of like family support there, and it's like wanting to be with them. Does that seem accurate? Or?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's an accurate indicators of what I'm actually going through.
Okay. Well, thank you for so much for coming today.
Yeah, no, thank you for
And
hearing
I
me
had
out.
a great time having conversation with you.
Thank you.